Hi all you Stonehenchers, it's GI. Just wanted to put a little video together for you based on a couple of members' feedback on some skill aspects that people can practice in their garden. So what I'll do today, I'm going to put together this little video just to go through a really solid warm-up in terms of handstand walking, and then some skills that you can practice to improve your skill on the handstand. Just make sure that when you get to a stage that you feel that you're going to progress, that you take that progression, that skill drill, and you work it there. You don't have to follow this all the way through to the end, but hopefully there's something for everybody on this. Good luck.
First up, we're going to look at some little warm-up drills. So setting your midsection, chest down, we're going to work on some arm swings, making sure thumbs are pointing backwards. So the target here is the pecs, just to make sure that we're going into a little bit of a dynamic stretch. Then we're going to start mobilizing into our overhead position, making sure the midline is still set, and arms go into the position we're going to hold in a handstand hold. Active shoulders, so actively pushing up through the shoulders and the traps. Next up, we're going to swing the arms from front to overhead, both together, showing you this from side on, just so you can see that I'm really working hard on keeping my midline nice and strong. To do this, finger in the bottom of the rib cage, finger in the tummy button and just below, and then bring the 2 points together. Next up, we're just going to work through a little bit of strength, so push-ups and handstand push-ups in a downward facing dog position. Completely up to you, and you can actually use these as a little bit of a strength builder. For our warm-up, we're going to be working through sets of 5 repetitions. Next up, we're going to start to move in our overhead position. So it's going to be some bear crawls to start with, making sure that the weight is in your hands. To do that, make sure you're standing on tippy toes and keeping those shoulders, again, nice and active. Notice how when I do this, I'm moving through the shoulder and not through the elbow. Make sure you keep the arms nice and straight. Working into some crab positions, so walking through in that crab position, making sure that you try and keep the hips nice and high. This one's going to help to stretch out your wrists, ready for those handstand holds and those handstand walks. The tendency on this one is to let the hips drop, so squeeze your butt, bring the hips nice and high. Cool. So now we're going to work into some little skill drills. So these are called shoulder taps, and we're going to do them in a downward facing dog or bear crawl position. Just make sure the weight is in your hands by coming up onto your tiptoes. Little trick to this one is to move your body weight side to side to allow the hand that you're going to lift to come off the floor and go nice and light. Taking this into something a little bit more specific to handstand walking and actually being in a handstand, we're going to go into some wall facing shoulder taps. So with this one, get yourself so that your head can come as close to the wall as possible. On this one, my wall's a little bit short because I'm quite tall, obviously. And again, little tip, just make sure that you move your body weight side to side to allow that hand to come off the floor. Same hand touches same shoulder with your thumb. Now we're going to start doing some handstand holds. Now everybody is going to have a differing level of confidence on this, so it's absolutely fine just to try and kick up, touch the wall with one foot. If you miss the wall, that's absolutely fine, but just try and build a bit of confidence with kicking up on this one. Making sure that your arms stay nice and straight, shoulders are active, pushing into the floor the whole time. If at some point you feel as though you can actually get into that handstand hold, like I've done just there, absolutely fine, just to practice holding those handstand holds. Anything up to about 10, 20, 30 seconds is going to be really useful. Next, we're going to move on to some actual handstand walking. So notice how I drew a line just behind where my hands were for the handstand hold. I'm going to put my fingertips up against that line and just try and move a hand closer to the wall. What will happen is that as you get to the wall, your feet will touch and push you back down so that you're not falling over the end of your handstand. This is just going to help to build a little bit of confidence with starting to get that walk going. At each time you do it and you feel confident, draw the line a little bit further away from the wall and see if you can get a couple more steps in with the hands, again touching the feet. Now just a little extra for you, this is going to be quite challenging, so it's absolutely fine if we're not quite there yet. So what I want you to do is come up, see if you can get yourself into a handstand hold, And again, moving body weight side to side, see if we can work into those shoulder taps. If you can do this, you're ready to handstand walk.